is Shafaqat. I am from Pakistan. Now I am edible to all. My audio is edible to everyone.
Yes, the audio
Okay,
is fine.
I think we start now. Today my topic is Kali Linux. What is Kali Linux? If we talk about the Kali Linux, that is the Linux flavor which is widely used for the penetration testing and for information security researchers and used by the hackers. And the agenda of today presentation is first I will introduce you about the Kali Linux, then after that the Linux architecture and ubiquity of the Linux, especially the Kali Linux, that is Kali, K-A-L-I, Kali. That is under the name of you can say a god of Hindus. They say it Kali Mata. So the Linux was the name was set onto that god, and they say that Kali Linux. What is the Kali and why should I and we use it? Kali new feature of Kali Linux, and after that Kali toolkit, installing the Kali and summary, and of course you all the questions of my audience and everything, whatever you want to get from me, I am available. So if we talk about the Kali introduction, the most advanced penetration testing distribution, that is the Kali Linux is the open source, that is Debian-based Linux distribution towards the various information security tasks. We can penetration testing, we can perform reverse engineering, computer forensics, security research. It has multiple, over 6,000 tools. It contains over 6,000 tools that can be integrated and that can be used by any information security researcher for getting the vulnerability and for finding and for penetration testing. Kali is not about it's a tool, not the operating system. It's a platform now. Now it's a platform. That is a great statement, big statement. What is the platform? If we talk about the platform, it makes the job easier. You can take any Linux and install penetration testing tools, and you have to set it manually and configure them. Kali is optimized to reduce the amount of professionals and researchers and just sit down, get the Kali Linux and found all the tools already integrated into that specific Linux version and you can start right now. And if we talk about Kali is available everywhere. The version of Kali is always close to you. That what matter, it contains the mobile. It has the mobile version also, ARM version. Cloud providers also provide Kali Linux, and Windows subsystems for the Kali and pre-built virtual machines are already available. And today in my presentation, I will show you, I have downloaded a ready-made built-in virtual machine and using it, and installer images, and also all the other, you can live Kali and other many flavors are available. If we talk about the customization of this Linux flavor with the use of many packages like meta packages optimized for specific tasks of the security professionals, are highly accessible for well-documented ISO customization process. It's always easy to generate an optimized version for Kali. And if in Linux, we have seen that if we install one version and for example, Python 2.7 version, after that we switch into 3.0 and 3.2, 3.3. and we have to remove previous versions for getting good results, and even we have to provide hard-coded path to the latest version sometimes to run our code. So this packages contains this is has been updated daily, and you can say updated after 1 month and 2 months by a colleague. So that is very useful for all these information security researchers and students, especially those want to become a researcher in security field. So I personally recommend them all to get hands onto it. You know, if you have very good, if you people have very good basic knowledge how the IT works, how TCP works, how programming works, how application works, how DNS, how web servers, how 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 the background of the system works. Then you after that you use the Kali Linux built-in tools, and then you can get into that specific system and find what are the vulnerabilities in that system. But that using that tools doesn't mean that you become the very good researcher or a hacker, but using that tool is just like this, that you have some sort of capability to use them, but use them nicely. We can say if you are a good workman, you know what the tools you have to use for your work, then you can work efficiently. So if you talk about the documentation of the Kali, documentation are available, multiple, many books are available. If we talk about the young generation right now, we are getting into AI age. We are not interested in reading the books and getting all the what from start till end. We just want the result. We just want the keywords. So if we are using like ChatGPT or AI algorithms, they provide us the crust, but we didn't know how that happens. That we are getting away from reading the book habits, but Kali provides all the good documentations. So if we are interested to use any tool of the Kali, so we have to read its documentation first. So can we know what that tool can does and how I have to use that tool for what purpose. And if we talk about community, Kali Linux at its back time, it was Backtrack. Its name was Backtrack, and then it was shifted to Kali Linux. And the different variants are also, previous variants are also available. And there are active Kali forms, there are IC channels, Kali tools listing, many things are available online. Even if we talk about the Kali itself, that is available on the website. That is if first time you log into Kali Linux, that Linux doesn't mean that it would be a some command line or some scripting or bash in front of you. It's a GUI based. You can see, you can install a non-GUI, but for a new user, I recommend that he should use like that. That is very convenient for them. And
I don't know if I may interrupt quickly, Siddique. I can see, we can see the global, I mean, the actual introduction to your presentation, the title saying Kali Linux, the quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. But the flow of the presentation is not reaching our screen. So I'm not sure whether you are indeed sharing your slides with us, or if you intend to just keep the first page, the first slide of that presentation. I don't know.
Okay, sir, let's proceed. Let's go. If we talk about the tools inside of that Kelly, the Kelly I have already told and tells you that it has contains 600 tools for the penetration testing and security audit, and some tools are like Grubsuit and Star Killer, Hydra. That is very powerful tool that is used for protocol attacks that sends username and passwords to any system, and if that system responds with positive result, that means it gives you the password of that system. And John Ripper, the tool designed to system administrator to find the weaknesses, and Melitigo, the Metasploit framework, very powerful, and Nmap, and Sponder, and for SQL map used for getting into SQL. The world most popular network analyzer tool, that is Wireshark, the Swiss Army knife penetration testing tool, also built in that Kelly. And if I can show you, let's proceed towards. First of all, if we go at where we can get Kelly, the first question is that from where we can get Kelly limits. If we go at Google and
Want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen,
you can download Kali Linux from official website of Kali.
What I was about to say is that apparently there is an issue with the network where Shafaqat Siddique is presently in Pakistan, which is the reason why there is a sort of annoying intermittent.
You can download.
From time to time, we are losing the presenter, but let's try to
downloaded it already. And if
the system is really cutting.
that I have already downloaded.
Shafaqat, can you hear us, Shafaqat? Can you hear me? Shafaqat, can you hear me? Can you hear us? Okay, this is Atlantic International University in our series of live class sessions. And today we have Shafaqat Siddique in Pakistan, and he is trying to make good of his presentation on web development. The specific topic he is tackling is Kali Linux, a new operating system that allows automation of some of the things that we do on the computer. And very unfortunately, from time to time, we are losing him. We are losing the presenter. The video feed has never been present today. We deeply apologize for that issue, ladies and gentlemen. And the audio also intermittently seems to have some issues, and those are the things that happen in the world of technology. We cannot expect, no matter what, we cannot really expect technology to be fully stable, no matter where we are in whatever country, including here in the United States. From time to time, there is something that comes up at the least expected time, and this is the experience we apparently are having right at this time, and that is very sad to a certain extent, because like I pointed out at the very beginning, knowledge of web science is critical in everything that we are trying to achieve nowadays. We have the main screen of the presenter, and apparently he is also navigating through some of the things that he is trying to teach us. But the audio, Shafaqat, is really missing. But ladies and gentlemen, I would urge you or invite you to jot down whatever ideas you want to clarify, and at some point in time, eventually, we are hoping that we're gonna have Shafaqat back to answer questions we might eventually want to bring to his attention. Let's see. Are you there, Shafaqat? It's very unfortunate.
If I show you my screen right now, you can see there are multiple tools are available in the Kali Linux. If we talk about the information gathering tools, here's the menu. If we click at that menu, after that we get into the information gathering tools. The more you get the information, and the more you are able to find the vulnerabilities in the system. Whatever there are DNS analyzer, and in DNS analyzer you can see there are 3 tools are available, and same for detection of IDS and IPS, IBD and WAF of 0 live and APN, FPN, Netcat, and many other tools are available. And for the vulnerability assessment, there are fuzzing tools, voice over IP tools, and same here for the wireless stack. Many students of my whatever we can say any Wi-Fi. And here are the tools are available for the Wi-Fi attack hackers, and that AirCrackNG is used for that specific purpose for the Wi-Fi. I click on this, it will be available after a few time, and because you can see right now over here. But let me tell you, if you are using any type of tool without the permission of that will be not an ethical way. So if I click over here, that will scan all the access points, and after that, if I right now I am not going to show you how Farron Wi-Fi cracker works prediction. After that, I will show you one by one a few more popular tools and how they works, and even I will show you how the results comes. And I in my presentation I just show you a tool, a Hydra, and there are two Hydras. One is a graphical interface for my all the audience. I would like to show you the graphical interfaces for that tools. You can use it using command line bash, and we can say it in the tool. Just click and Hydra is available. And so you can use tools like this from root with the bash, with the terminal, and you can use the tools using graphical interfaces. The most easiest way is the graphical and GUI phase. So I would show you how it works, and the commands are also available in the help of like this tool is Hydra. The command is also available for them. So if I talk about the target, for example, the during my information gathering phase, I find the IP address of any system home I want to home target system. So I will write down here the target system, and after that I will get into the password, and here is available list, uh, available list inside Kelly has most popular password list. We can use them, but we can create our own list. We can create a dictionary. We call it dictionary by using Crunch. Is also a software available over here for creating a dictionary. In the password attacks, you can see here that is Crunch. Crunch is used to create any type of dictionary, whatever you want. If I know the username, I will give the username over here, and after that I can give the password list or password from whatever on the physical space I have placed. And after that, when I adjust some other things, when I get into that specific tools, then I will explain everything and just start. And when I click on start, what it does, it sends username and passwords to that specific server on that specific port. And if that port is open, and if that port is file transfer protocol FTP or SFTP, and that port hit with the username and password, if it passes the username password, then we can get into the target system. That is Hydra. Same, many other tools are also available, like database assessment. I have shown you SQL map, very powerful tool. Just write down the SQL and URL of that specific SQL server and wait. You can automate it also, but that is the next level. Next level, initially we just have to get into tools introduction. And if we talk about the reverse engineering using Nisam and Cloud plus plus, read also some executable files using the reverse engineering, and the exploitation tools, the Metaxploit framework, a word inside the Kali Linux. I say Metaxploit framework is, we can use it to hack anything, to find the vulnerabilities, the defined vulnerabilities of all the finders already detected vulnerabilities. Metaxploit provide us. And if we talk about a sniffing tool, and I have shown you in my presentation, I have chosen that the Wireshark Wireshark is used to capture anything on. You can see it can capture Ethernet, any port, and loopback port, Bluetooth monitor. It anything that any packet that enters or leaves your can be monitored by Wireshark, and its content, even its content can be readable in the Wireshark. If that is not HTTPS, that is also a very powerful tool. And same other tools are also available in the sniffing and spoofing section. And if we talk about the post exploitation, the most important thing is the post exploitation for those who get into some one system, and then when they want to get out, they have to remove their fingerprints. So the post exploitation is used for the removal of the fingerprints, and also installing the backdoors, and also used for installing the backdoors and other activity for post exploitation. Really is widely used for this purpose. And if we talk about the forensic tools are also available inside Kali Linux. If someone has access, illegitimate access files that you want to forensic that files, you can use some tools are available in the Kali Linux, that is hashtag MD5 is good too for that. And the reporting tool, all the work is dead if reports are not up to the mark. And Meltigo is used for reporting server reports of vulnerabilities and other things that has been used by researchers, information security researchers. And so some predefined scripts are available in Melody. Most important tool, social engineering. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. I don't want to waste resources to spend. I don't want to waste resources to spend 5 to 7 hours for getting a password of any system. If I can have a social engineering to that specific guy on a cup of tea, I can get the password. So some social engineering toolkits are available that are used, or that can enhance our capability to get the socialize and get the information regarding all the activities. And some other things by Kali, that is exploit database. I represent a lecture also on CV complaints. If there is a database, any type of exploitation performed by any information security researcher or hacker is reported and documented at exploit database, so that the others can get the information regarding that specific vulnerability and gain access and know how to patch this. That is also the Kali Linux subscribe exploit database. And some forums are also I have shown you. And if you talk about the tools that these are available, if we talk tools that are available in that Kali, these are the tools you can see. Many tools are available that are pre-configured at Kali Linux, but some tools are not configured due to the size of the Kali Linux that should be about 4.2 or 3 GB that can hold a CD so that a live Kali can be run on that. So Kali Linux was they shortened their tools, but you can download, you can install any tool from that is on the official website of Kali. Okay, sir. If we get into that, we can download any type of tool from here that was, and you think that that tool was very good, so you can use it. Okay.
Like I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, it's a whole world completely upside down today. The issue is really terrible on the end of our presenter, Shafaqat Siddique. We are very, very sorry about that. And I have no way of resolving that issue since, everything that's happening in Pakistan is completely outside of our control. There is absolutely nothing we can do, particularly when we're talking about a topic which most of us don't know about. Kali Linux, believe it or not, I am very deeply involved in everything that deals with technology, but this is the first time I'm hearing about that. So I was having a keen interest in everything that Shafaqat was telling us, but unfortunately, the system, the network system on his end is extremely shaky, unstable today. And to each and every one of you, I sincerely apologize from the very bottom of my heart. And I'm doing that on behalf of the entire institution of Atlantic International University. Let me repeat that this is not something that we could have controlled. There is absolutely nothing we can do here in the United States. We are so far apart. Apparently, Shafaqat is still trying to get things going. as we are now back to a screen that he controls wherever he is, but we are losing out considerably today. This is not something that happens personally for all the live sessions that I have hosted. We've never, ever had an issue like that. My heart is with each and every one of you again. Are you back, Shafaqat?
Anybody have any question? If anybody have any question, please you can ask me related to Kali Linux.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the voice of Shafaqat inviting you to raise questions, issues about anything that is related to either operating systems in general, or this particular one, Kali Linux, that platform that offers apparently so much. I'm saying apparently because I'm still a little in the unknown when it comes to the actual capabilities of that software or that platform, Kali Linux. Anyway, let's go to Dr. Caleb Magutu. Dr. Caleb, the first question is from you. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good morning for me.
Yes, I'm grateful for this presentation because it is a new idea, and especially for us engineers, we are supposed to get involved in programming because our machines, most of our machines we use are the technology has reached a point where everything we design and manufacture must be programmed. And I'm very grateful for everybody. Even here, I was not getting it very clearly, but I got some good bits of it. Now I have one question to the presenter. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Yes, I have one question to the presenter. In 2004, I used Linux Red Hat. It has some good tools which we used to develop the web servers and even the firewalls and even some networks. So I'm asking, what is the difference between the Linux Red Hat and the Kali Linux? And the Kali Linux seems to be actually named Kali. To us, it is actually named Kali, meaning that it is something which is very, very, very strong. So what's the difference between Kali Linux and Red Hat Linux?
Shafaqat, your answer, please, if you are listening to us. Dr. Caleb is trying to ask you to compare and contrast.
Okay, so I got it. The difference between the Kali Linux and the Red Hat is that both are the distribution of the Linux flavor. But one is the Unix system, and whether the second one is the Linux. That is the kernel difference. You can say internal functionality, how it works, how the processors take the commands from program and execute it. The basic difference is this, but both are you can say that work on the tree hierarchy. Both are working on the same mechanism, and just the flavor you can say the flavor is different. I have already told you, Kali is on the Kali Mata. That is some sort of evil god of Hindus. So that has been used for that specific purpose. So the that is the flavor of the Linux. That contains all the predefined tools for using for exploitation and using for penetration.
Dominic Forbes, your turn now.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for the opportunity to ask a question. My question, truthfully, is what questions do you suggest any student have for you who has been subjected to a presentation such as this where we were not able to get all of the information? What do we ask in order to obtain the information that we could have and ought to have gotten from your presentation, please?
Do you have a stand on that, Shafaqat? We've been missing out significantly today because so many of your slides could not be shared. Actually, we've lost a good bit
Yes,
of that presentation.
I apologize for all the things that happens because there was not a one connection, there were two connections, one on the connected with the presentation. So even then I have switched off, and that was not working due to Kali. But if I have a flow of all the presentation, and due to a network and other exigencies, and the flow was not fully transferred to all the students, so that I think that hope what can we say, that was not the meaningful results that we were expecting and that should be delivered.
Okay, the question being raised so far, Shafaqat, is whether it is possible for you to, let's say, have a link, for example, right now on the chat line, so that every participant could grab the link and download the information that you shared with us. Or if there is any other way you could proceed to allow our attendees to access the presentation. But as we're waiting for clarification from our presenter, let's see what Zaib Abid has to say to us. Zaib.
Hello and good evening from my side. Hope you are all doing well.
Thank you.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. My question is that the presenter shown very good tools and explained them very well. My question is that for a cybersecurity expert or a social engineer, I have a question that how much it is necessary to learn Kali Linux, and after how many lectures we will able to say that we have intermediate in cybersecurity, and is there any small project that we will perform during these lectures our presenter will perform? Kindly answer, please.
Shahzeb, basically, Kali Linux is the basic tool for any ethical hacker or any information security researcher. That is the basic tool. So everyone who wants to become the information security researcher, he has to get into the Kali Linux. And if we talk about how you have the grip on all the features and all the 5 phases of ethical hacking, there are 5 phases of ethical hacking. How you can get all the 5 phases of ethical hacking, you have to learn at least 100 plus tools on your tips, and every tools you should know that how to use them and where to use them, and what the fruitful information from that tool you have to get, and after getting that fruitful information, how to give that input to the other tool to get an other result. So that is that I think if you are courteous about getting the getting some sort of knowledge, you become the information security researcher, that maybe 6 months to 1 year, and that will take, but at your background there should be a very clarity that you know how it works, how IT systems works. Okay.
Thank you. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, despite the obstacles that we seem to be crossing at this time because of network interruptions on the end of our presenter, the floor is presently yours, which means you may still raise your hand and ask questions. If you have a question, for example, on the chat line, I'll be more than pleased to read it to our presenter, hoping, of course, that he would be able to hear us and respond to whatever issue you want to raise. The questions that seems to be universally asked at this time is that the participants are sort of complaining about that network difficulty we've been highlighting since the very beginning. And they seem to ask from you, Shafaqat, whether it is possible for you to either put that link to your presentation, your PDF document on the chat line right at this time, or if you could send it to our academic department so that that division of Atlantic International University could follow up and make sure that the presentation goes to every attendee or goes to our platform at whatever section that the department would decide. So everything now is on, the ball is on your side, Shafaqat. Please
Okay,
tell us if that is any possible from you.
Okay, sir, we will get into that. We will have a separate discussion on this, that how can we do this for easiness of our students.
Okay, like I said again, one way to do it, if you have a link that goes to your presentation right at this time, you could just type that link or put it there in the chat line, and our participants could grab the link and have access to your presentation. If that is not very possible as we speak at this time, you could just send that presentation either with a link or any way you choose, send it to the academic department of Atlantic International University, and that department will make sure that within the next 24 hours, the document will be available through either link to each and every one of those attendees, or put it just on their student portals. I mean, there are so many of our participants who are no longer active students. They are members of our alumni. So we will take the steps, the appropriate steps, the right action to send that document to our participants. So it is up to you right now. As I said again, I repeat, the ball is on your side. Tell us, tell me, I mean, whatever your answer is, every participant will be able to hear it. What is the best way for you to share that presentation with our participants thereafter, which means after we are all gone, what is the best way for you to proceed to help us get access to that document, please?
Okay.
Are you there, Shafaqat?
Sir, okay, I got it. I will provide all the things to our university department so they can share with all the audience. For time being, if I would recommend and that you can get into the website at kali.org, that is the official website of Kali Linux, and download the tool and get into that. That is all the documents are also available.
All right, thank you very much. We have one last question that we're gonna go.
Their tools.
We have one last question we're gonna go to in a minute, but let me paraphrase what the presenter Shafaqat Siddique just told us. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that he cannot decide as to the timing of his action to send the document to Atlantic International University. However, one thing that he said he's gonna do, he will make sure. He doesn't know whether in the next 24 hours or tomorrow, Thursday, he doesn't know, but he said he is kind of pledging to share that document with our institution. And as soon as we get it, you can trust that we will proceed. We will follow up on that, and we will make sure none of you will lose out. Ultimately, we will have that document in your inbox very soon. Now, another option that Shafaqat mentioned as well.
I have already, sir, sorry for interrupting.
No, that's okay.
Sir. So I already uploaded the Kali. I have already uploaded the presentation for in the meeting chat for all our.
All right. What?
Yes, but it will take about internet problem over here. It will take maybe 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, what there is, by the way, I'm looking at the chat line. Ladies and gentlemen, on the chat line, pretty much like Khalid just mentioned, the document is there. You can see Kali that PPTX, which is the PowerPoint, it is there right as we speak. The size of that document, 11.93 megabytes. It is right now as we speak on the chat lines. So all you have to do is go to the thread of that chat line, scroll up and down until you see that link. Thank you very, very much, Shafaqat. We've had that network difficulty that we were forcibly dealing with, but you've done your part. The link, ladies and gentlemen, is there on the chat line as we speak. Go ahead and grab it, download it. It's there. Thank you very much, Shafaqat. As we're gonna go, like I announced earlier, to the last question with Damien Cabaret. Damien Cabaret, it is your turn right now.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Still morning for me.
Yeah, I'm calling from Burkina Faso, West Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very glad for this presentation. And since the network is shaky on the side of our presenter, I don't know, can we postpone, reschedule the meeting to another time? This is
All
my
right, so
proposal.
that question is not for Shafaqat, it is for me, Atlantic International University.
Okay. Okay.
Shafaqat's been with us in the past since we started that series of live class sessions. Shafaqat has made other presentations. That's number one. Number two, Shafaqat is always willing to be with us upon a call from our Board of Trustees. Number three, the thing that I mentioned earlier upon our insistence, as I kept telling Shafaqat that the questions that abound on the chat line are about how to get that presentation. I have not been looking closely at the chat line, but at some point, our presenter has indicated that yes, he did go ahead and put that presentation on the chat line. And I reiterated his point of view, I mean, his announcement after I scrolled down, you know, on the chat line and I could see that presentation. Mr. Damien Cabaret, the document is there right as we speak. On the chat line, if you go to the chat line momentarily, you will see it in there. The document is called Kali, K-A-L-I .pptx, which is for PowerPoint presentation. The document is in there with the size of 11.93 megabytes. So it is there. All you have to do, even if, of course, missed out significantly on the actual presentation, but the document is there. And Shafaqat's been generous enough to proceed with our request, to follow up on our requests and put the document in the chat line right now. So go ahead, please, Cabaret, and grab it.
Okay.
It's there for you and for anybody else.
But is it possible to have his email address in case we go through the document and we have some question about any clarification? I mean, to contact the presenter. Is it possible to have his contact? I don't know.
I haven't heard Shafaqat make any mention of that as to whether his actual email is available on that document. And I'm not sure either. I'm not sure either whether he would be willing to accept that. Yes, go ahead.
So no email and contact address has been written in the presentation.
Okay.
You know, I'm directly connected with the university, so I entertain all the things via my university as per decided.
Thank you very, very much. I hope you heard the response, Cabaret. And with that, we have a note, a memo from Dr. Caleb Magutu, who wrote in the chat line that he has managed to successfully download the document, the PowerPoint that the presenter has shared with us. So someone has done it, so everybody could do it. And as soon as we got, I mean, before we go, before we end up this presentation, which we are about to do right at this time, I'm gonna grab that document. It's not a link, you know, let me clarify that it's no longer a link, it is the actual document. You go there and I'm right-clicking on it right now. One of the options is download, and there the document is now on my computer. It's very, very simple. It's just not a link. You go where it is, Kali.pptx, right-click on the document, and the two options, among the options there, one is download.
Sir, there is a question on the chat room.
Okay.
Can I use these tools without using lines, command lines? So with graphic mode, can we use Kali and computation? Yes, yes. And this question has two parts. One, can we use tools without using command lines? Yes, you can use. There is graphical user interface is also available, and the command line interface is also available. So you can use, if you are new one to Linux system, you can use GUI, graphical user interfaces. So that is easy to use, and but they have some limitations also. But you can, for startup, you can use them. And second part of your question was that a computer without installing as an operating system on the, yes, what you have to do, you just have to download a virtual box, a freeware virtual box, a freeware. VMware is also available, but I recommend VirtualBox. And from the website of Kali Linux, you have to download the Kali for VirtualBox. VMware, you have to get into the VMware. There will be two options. One is
All right.
VirtualBox, and second is VMware. You have to download the your system. That may be that is Windows based, or you can say that is a Mac based, whatever.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was the last note, last comment about this presentation. For those of you who have asked a question, remember many of our participants and I have successfully downloaded the document. There still is a comment from one of our presenters saying that the document cannot be downloaded. When it comes to that, I would strongly recommend that you double check your setting, double check your system, because I just downloaded the document, I opened it up, and everything is fine. I have everything on my end. So if I can do it, the response is that anybody else can do it as well. I haven't double checked what PowerPoint version the document is in. If you have a PowerPoint that is an older version that the present document is, then definitely you're not going to be able to open it. So that's what you need to double check on your end. But we are all grateful and thankful to Shafaqat Siddique, who has done a phenomenal job of preparing that presentation and also sharing it with us, despite the network difficulties that he had to go through. We want to thank him, and I'm doing that right now on behalf of each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen, and on behalf of Atlantic International University as well. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a real pleasure, and I do hope that you will join us for other sessions, including the next date, which is for tomorrow, Wednesday. Be blessed, everybody. Thank you very much again, Shafaqat, and I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.